It is, what is today? Today's Friday. It's Friday afternoon. I've got about an hour before I gotta go pick up the baby girl. So I decided I'm gonna try a new recipe out of the cookbook that I got. And it is for salmon, smoked salmon fat bombs. And it's essentially like cream cheese and smoked salmon and I think some pepper maybe. Anyways, the smoked salmon I got has pepper and stuff on it. I checked, it doesn't have added sugar. But in looking at the recipe, you know, I mean, they're fat bombs, so you can eat them by themselves. But I was thinking, you know, like I've got cream cheese and stuff, and I've got these recipes for spreads and stuff. But, I mean, aside from like cucumbers and celery, like it would be nice to have some sort of cracker that I could put them on. So I looked, they have, which brand is it? I forget. It's one of those almond diamond or something like that. Has some nut thins. But upon reading the labels, I realized that they're mostly rice flour. So they're not exactly keto friendly like I thought they might be. So I decided I'm going to make my own nut thins. So I've put a cup of slivered almonds in here. And I'm doing a cup of, this is a mix of some walnuts and some pecans, which both have the lowest carb count per serving as far as nuts go. But the walnuts and the pecans have the good fats in them. So I figured they would make a good addition to the almonds, which they have a good amount of fat too. But the protein count on like the walnuts and that is lower. And anyhow, I'm just experimenting right now. This is my guess on how to do this. I looked up a couple of cracker recipes, and you know, they all have flour and stuff, but I figure if I pulverize these enough, it will turn into some form of flour. So I'll put this with an egg and like a couple of tablespoons of either avocado or olive oil, and then roll them out on a piece of parchment paper and bake them, and it should turn into some semblance of crackers that we can put like the cute little fat spreads on. So that's what I'm doing right now. My energy this week has sucked. Like seriously, the heat is getting to me, and I don't think that I have been eating enough. Like in the mornings, I've pretty much been doing liquids in the mornings, and then I'll come home and have some protein, and then whatever I make for dinner. Like last night, what did we have last night? Oh, I made the Indian butter chicken with some shirataki rice. The night before, we just did barbecued ribs. So tonight, we'll probably do leftover ribs and salad. Oh shoot, that's what I forgot. I forgot the salt. I was gonna make Keto Connect put a recipe for cured egg yolks that looked really good, and I don't have. I mean, I've got salt, but I'm not wasting. Like I went and I bought some fine pink salt, but I'm not wasting all that to make that stuff's not cheap. So I'm not using that to make cured egg yolks. So I just need to get some of the cheap 99 cents for the big tub of salt to do the cured egg yolks. So that'll be probably tomorrow I will do those. But as for today, tomorrow will be the weigh-in. I'm not anticipating it too highly because I haven't gotten to the gym and all this. I've been tired. Like I've actually taken a nap the last couple of days just because it's so hot. By the time I get home, I am just wiped, mentally wiped. I've been starting really early in the morning to do airport runs, and by the time I get home around 1 o'clock, I'm just exhausted. So I really don't know what to pack to take with me for lunch, because I'm in my car all day, and you know, I don't feel like I really should be eating while I'm in the car, but at the same time, like I definitely feel the drain on my energy, the fact that I'm not eating, like I'm going pretty much 8 hours in between eating, and I'm going. So I think I need to figure out some lunches that I can easily pack that'll fit in like the center console of my car or something, because I don't even have room really for like an insulated lunchbox, because I need to save room for my passengers. So most of them don't like holding my lunchbox on their lap if they sit up front. So yeah, I'll figure something out, but I know definitely not eating has definitely been a drain on my energy this week. Haven't gotten to the gym. I even dressed for the gym today, wore my sweats and everything, and I got home and I was halfway home and I was literally like feeling like I was gonna nod off behind the wheel. I was just so exhausted. So I think another thing is I stopped putting the protein in the shakes because it was just too much. So that might be part of it. So I might give that a go tomorrow, try putting the protein back in, and then maybe that will help. I don't know. Anyhow, this is all trial and error, guys. I'm no expert. This is just my experiences, what I'm going through, and maybe if I can save you the hassle of making some mistakes, that's great. But anyways, on to my crackers. I will come back and show you what they turn out like. Alright, so this is what it looks like all rolled out before it's baked. First batch turned out a little bit crispy on the edges. I baked those at 350 for 12 minutes. They taste fine though, and they could use probably a little bit more salt. And that batch turned out alright. Again, probably needs a little bit more salt, but those ones I did at 350 for 10 minutes. Alright guys, so it's Saturday morning. Really, really early in the morning. But week 7, moment of truth. 311.4, so another 3 pounds this week. Yay! Alright guys, so I just finished making some smoked salmon fat bombs. I gotta put them in the fridge, but this is what the mixture looks like. That is fantastic on the nutcrackers I made yesterday. That is delicious. So this is what my bombs look like. I'm going to throw them in the fridge and they should solidify a little bit. It was pretty much just even parts butter, and it calls for half a cup butter, half a cup goat cheese. I think I used 11 ounces of goat cheese and 8 ounces, just a full Kerrygold package of butter. And it calls for 2 ounces of smoked salmon, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then you can add some pepper to it, but smoked salmon that I used had pepper on it already, so I just cut that up and used that. And then I also threw in like a pretty good sized pinch of dill, and it turned out fantastic. So I'm curious to see what the texture of these is going to be with the butter and the cheese. I'm assuming it's going to be semi-solid. Right now it's like a spread, so we'll see. And next I'm going to do some pumpkin spice fat bombs. Alright, so I finished mixing up the fat bombs, and this recipe called for a block of butter, a block of cream cheese, both softened, blended together with a third a cup of pumpkin puree, 3 tablespoons of chopped almonds, so I just threw some in the pulverizer, or the, what is it, this thing, Ninja thing, food processor. Called for 4 drops of liquid stevia. I did not have liquid stevia, so I used 1/8 of a teaspoon of regular pure stevia. And it calls for a half teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a half teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Not a big fan of nutmeg, so I just used a full teaspoon of cinnamon. They turned out absolutely delicious. And the recipe itself says to put into a, what is it, 8 by 8 square pan, and then when it firms up to cut into squares. But if you haven't figured it out already, I use instructions as kind of a guideline. So we have another pan going in the fridge. So yeah, that is our fat bombs. I think that's going to be the end of it for this week. My daughter lost another 2.5 pounds this week. So we're doing good on the weight loss. And that just goes to show you, like, this apparently works just on the diet alone. Exercise is just bonus. It helps burn up your energy that is being burned, and all the fat that's being burned up. So starting Monday, I will be back on structure to go to the gym hopefully 5 days. We'll see. It's still very, very hot, but I'm going to try going early in the morning so that it's not so bad. It was 80 degrees when I went out at 4 o'clock this morning to work. So that being said, my energy level is good today, but I took a couple of protein bars with me to work. I also, in my protein shake, I did do the protein today, and I did, what did I use? Oh, instead of cashew milk, today I just used coffee. So energy's great. I'm probably going to do a little bit more experimenting, but we'll see. I've also got some oranges, the new black, to catch up on. So anyhow, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? You know you want to watch us and see how our progress is. So we'll catch you all next Wednesday with measurements. All right, bye.